Thank you for coming by Tori Magoo 44. It is Friday, March 12th. We're moving along closer and closer to this month, which is St. Patty's Day. You know me, I'm really big on celebrating all the different holidays that we can. It adds a little bit of fun and spice to your life, and that's a very important thing. So speaking of that, mostly I speak on this channel about freedom, human rights, and what I experienced escaping out of the Church of Scientology and things that they won't tell you that I've shared with you. And I've made a number of videos, over 300, about that. And recently different people have asked me different things, and I've noticed that I tend to, share the same thing with a number of different people. And I thought, maybe I should share it on my YouTube site. So I'm going to give you a couple of different topics, and I want you guys to let me know if you're interested in them or not. There are things that, mainly because of my age and my experience, I have experience in. Number one, last night I reached lifetime as weight loss, so I could certainly talk more about what are my different successful actions with weight loss. That was a big honor for me, really great. I fought weight loss for most of my life, so it's really, really wonderful for me to have finally gotten it together. Okay, number two is parenting. I have a lot of information, facts, data from babies on up regarding parenting. Number three is just general life skills. Number four is marriage. How to stay married and stay happily married. I was married for 27 years, very happily married. And one of the key things, and also education is a big thing that I'm for, because you're going to work for a very long time, whether you know it or not. You should get trained in something and educated in something that you truly and honestly love. I thought I was doing that with Scientology, didn't turn out to be the case. And, so now I'm back to where I have to get educated in something. Now, my parents were right in that they early on wanted me to go to college, get trained in something. But being young, being typical, I was like, who needs college? I'll do it later, whatever. Now, I told my mom, before she passed away, I said, if you'd let me work for a year, I would have gotten a master's degree, because I would have understood, how much it takes to earn money, to pay for things, that kind of thing. And what it's like working in just the workforce, if you're not trained in something that you love. So there you go. For right now, I'm just going to talk to you a little bit on marriage, and then I want you guys to let me know if you're interested in any of these, some of these, none of these. There you go. I can just stick with Scientology. I mean, that's an ongoing comedy routine, action, adventure, and soap opera all combined in one. So that could be a daily thing, and I can continue that forever. And I will anyway. I'm going to continue that, sprinkling it through. But I just wanted to know if you wanted to know about any of these other things or not. So I want you to let me know. And for right now, for marriage, my number one key tip for marriage for today is make sure that you have, and I know some of the religious people won't agree with me on this, but I believe that God agrees with me on this, because marriage is a union of two people with the goal of they staying together and creating together, right? And one of the best ways to stay together is to have had plenty of sex before you get married. I know there's a camp that believes in don't have any sex until you get married, but number one, what if you get married and have sex and you don't really enjoy each other? Sex is a big part of marriage. So you want to make sure you guys are compatible. But also, I believe in having sex before you get married with other people too. So then by the time you get married, you're not in the, because there's the first 3 months of you're very excited, it's really hot, then 6 months it's still pretty cool. And then it kind of rolls into marriage as it is. And if you haven't had sex with anyone else, it's my experience from watching other people, and just, I believe it's true. You're going to be going, well, what would it be like to have sex with that guy? Or for a guy with that girl? Whereas if you've had a bunch of sex, I know from experience, I look at guys and go, hey, he's a hot guy. I remember I had sex with a guy like that. Do you see what I mean? So you've got experience on it, and I was very happy with my husband, so there you go. That was it. I didn't have this like, ooh, I wish I could, or, which I think happens when you've never had any sex with anyone else. Have protected sex. Make sure you have protected sex. We're in a different age than I was. when people had tons of unprotected sex. But AIDS wasn't around. It's just a whole different time now. You have to really watch out for yourself and take care of yourself. Okay? And have fun. I honestly believe happiness, a lot of people say, God, you're so happy, Tori. But you know what? I do. I'm 62 years old, but I'm always, you can ask any of my friends, I'm going places, I'm doing things, whether with myself, with my friends, whatever I can do, I'm out there doing stuff, experiencing new things all the time. Because I believe and this is especially true for a marriage, but life in general, it's sort of like a fire. Think of a fire, if you get it started, and then you just leave it be. What's going to happen? It's just like, there you go. That's the end of the fire. Whereas if you keep pitching logs on it, especially in a marriage, it's like, ooh, that's kind of cool. That's kind of different. You know what I mean? It's just, and your life is kind of the same. It's like, ooh, this is new. This is different. I never did this. And a lot of people go, oh, I wish I lived in LA because then I could do that. But you know what? You have fabulous things wherever you are. I believe that to be true. But you have to go out and look at them. And I know this because I know tons of people in LA that don't do anything in LA. And I was the same. I realized it in my marriage. It was like we were all like hamsters. We did the same thing every week. We'd go to the movies on the weekend. It was just like da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. We never did anything different. And I finally bought a book on the best places to go in LA. And I said to my husband, we're going to pick one of these a month and go there. Even if we think it's a tourist trap or whatever, we're going to go. Because people from all over the world fly in here for all these cool things, right? And sure enough, it did add a whole new spark to everything. It's something to talk about. It's a place to go. It's a new experience. You got to try it. You got to get out. You got to do it. So this weekend, that's my tip for you, is to get out, do something different, something out of your comfort zone, something different. And if you're my age, I can't tell you how many people I meet. And my friend and I laugh about this all the time because we go out all the time. And we're like the only people our age that are out. Everybody else is 20, 25, maybe 30. That's it, but go out. Don't, this is my own belief. Part of dying is just stopping your life. It's sort of like, well, we already did that. We don't need to do it anymore. It's like you couldn't possibly have done everything that there is to do. Not possibly. And you might as well just keep creating and enjoying life and doing things and having fun. And it may take a little bit to go out there, but you know what? You're going to find out you're going to be having a good time. So come tell me about it and let me know if you want to hear of any of these other things, or just if I keep on doing all of the stuff that has to do with Scientology. I'm cool either way on it. All right? I love you guys. Thank you for coming by my website, my YouTube site. I do love you. And peace out. Have a fantastic weekend. Do something fun. All right? Bye-bye.